What's up guys, Aisling here, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my January favourites. Yes, my background is different because I'm at home right now for the next few days, which I explained in my last video, but just in case you missed that one. I'm very excited because I'm visiting the fam. I am very excited to talk about a couple of new products and a lot of rediscoveries this month. I feel like because I was trying out an awful lot of products and doing like Project Pan and stuff like that, that I have like found or rediscovered some love for some products. Without further delay, let's get into the video and talk about my favorites. So the first products I actually want to talk about are not here with me because naturally I wasn't going to bring them with me because they're shampoos and conditioners. So the first one is the L'Oreal Elvive Dream Lengths Restoring Shampoo and Conditioner. I ran out of shampoo and conditioner this month and I went into Tesco's and there was like a promotion on just need a shampoo and conditioner. It's on special. It's a no-brainer. It's enriched with keratin, vitamins and castor oil, and it has a creamy caring formula, helps to reinforce hair and protect against breakage. With that shampoo and conditioner, oh my god, my hair felt so luscious and soft. And obviously I've got hair extensions and stuff, so they get like tangled and they get split ends just like normal hair, but they don't have the hydration that normal hair or real hair has because obviously it's growing from the root and you have your natural oils and stuff like hydrating the hair. But I feel like maybe it's the castor oil or something in these products that just make them insane. Not to mention, oh my god guys, the smell of them is like just heaven. Like even if you just see the products, just pick them up in store and just like smell them because you'll just want to buy them. It just is great at actually smoothing out my hair. I suffer an awful lot from breakage from my hair because I dye the life out of my hair and have done since I was 16. So that is a lot of damage on my hair. But I feel like these little bits here are not as like frizzy and out of control, and they're actually soft and my hair feels soft to touch. I'm just obsessed with the conditioner and the shampoo, and I just can't believe that I'm saying that about something, like I said, that's not that expensive. And you know, I often thought that you had to spend a bomb on hair care products just in order to get your hair looking nice, but they are super affordable and work great. And I think there's like other products in the line like masks and stuff, like hair masks, so I might pick them up. So the first makeup product I want to talk about is the Huda Beauty Nude palette. I reviewed this earlier in the month and I'm actually shocked at how much I like this because I was like full on expecting to have the same feelings as I do towards the mauve palette, which you guys know I don't like and I've talked about it a bazillion times because the formula for that for me is just lackluster. Actually, it's not even lackluster, it's blotchy and splotchy and does not blend at all in my eyes. And when I saw this eyeshadow palette, I was like, do I really need it? And I didn't get it initially. It took me 2 whole months to actually break down and get this palette. I'll turn it that way so you can see the colors. Obviously, this is a beautiful eyeshadow palette. I mean, that's hard to deny just looking at it. Like you can't say, oh my god, it's so basic, because it's far from basic. Got a coupon code from Cult Beauty and they sent me like a 15% off code. Like I think it was for either Christmas or for my birthday or something. Did this do things like that for your birthday? But anyway, I got a 15% off discount code from Cult Beauty, so I went on and I purchased this bad boy. It's €65 or something crazy like that. I ended up getting it for just under €60, which I didn't save like a bomb, but I saved like enough to justify actually getting it. When I first purchased this and I was kind of reviewing it, I was saying this isn't a nude palette and I don't understand the names behind it. The more I kind of like played around with this and read the names, I was like, oh, Aisling, you are so filmy. It's obviously not like the nude theme. It's got to do more like sensual nude. So like some of the names like raw, tease, tickle, excite, infatuated, kinky, spanked, love bite, fantasy, crave, bear, lace. I think you get where I'm going with this. I think the shadows are incredible. The formulation of them is really, really good. They're very pigmented and they're super easy to work with, which was not the case with some of the other Huda Beauty palettes I've used. Sorry, I should really like wash myself. You can see from the swatches how pretty the shades are, but they actually work super well on the eyes. They're highly pigmented. They blend really, really well. They're effortless to work with and I just love them. My only kind of complaint with this eyeshadow palette, well actually I have 2. Go figure. I couldn't just pick one. These kind of like chunky glitter things all look the same in my eyes. I never notice any diversity with them, even though when you swatch them there's a clear diversity with them. So the only recommendation I would give to get them to look different on the eyes is to use a different eyeshadow underneath them. So they look different while swatched, but once on my eyes, I can't differentiate from one or the other. So if you wanted like Daydream, which kind of has like a purpley undertone to show up more purpley, I would recommend putting Lace down first and then Daydream on top. Same as like Charmed, if you want that to show up really gold, I'd recommend going in with one of the browns to kind of make it more goldy. If you want Fantasy to look that kind of like purpley red tone that it has, like use something like Spanked down first. So they're the kind of like only observations I kind of would have from using this. And then a second complaint about this is the concealed shade, which I do not get, don't understand, don't know why it's needed. It doesn't really conceal. I tried to do a cut crease with it. It's not like pale enough and pigmented enough to actually give you a good cut crease. And to be honest, everything from this palette just falls into it. There's a tiny bit of kickback from the eyeshadow palette, and I do find that it just all ends up in the concealed shade. I wish there was like a little flip on it, like a little lid or something, or that it was maybe up towards the top of the palette or something. If you wanted, you could just use the palette like that and then it wouldn't be any problem. In theory, it was a great thought. In practicality and actually physically using it, it doesn't work as well as it was theorized. That's enough said on this. If you want my full review, I'll link it down below. I enjoyed this palette. I really like it. I've been reaching for it all month and I can't say enough good stuff about it. I think it is a great palette and definitely an investment palette, but if you want something kind of different, go with it. This is a weird product for me to be actually talking about because hello, oiliest girl in Ireland speaking, but yeah, I am actually going to be talking about facial oil. When have you ever heard me talk about facial oil before? This is the Urban Decay Drop Shot Mix in Facial Oil. You can use this mixed in with your foundation to give it a more radiant kind of luminous effect to the skin, or you can just apply it to the skin first. Try not to use this on days where I'm going to be applying a foundation, especially if it's a foundation that might be a little bit more dewy and radiant, which I don't tend to go for too much, but I will be talking about the foundation that I would avoid with it next. Initially thought like oil on oily skin, that's not a good combo. It's going to make you even oilier and it's also going to just make your skin look greasy and clog pores, and no, don't go there. But when I used it with like mixed in with moisturizers and stuff like that, I found that actually my skin wasn't as oily as it normally is. So maybe that's just because the oils on my skin are already present. So my skin's like, okay, we don't have to overproduce oil because there's already a bit of hydration and oil on her skin already. I don't know what it is, but my skin feels really, really soft as well from using it. I did kind of worry a little bit about it for a while because I thought I was getting like breakouts along my jawline from it. But I think they were just hormonal breakouts from the time of the month that I was actually using it. So it wasn't this product. And I do really like it. I think it's great. And it just, like I said, hydrates my skin. It makes my skin look really glowy and fresh and like youthful and stuff. Really hydrated and radiant. And I just really enjoy it. So this is the foundation I was saying not to use with it, but it is my favorite of the month. Well, it's like one of my favorite foundations. The other foundation's a bit more full coverage. I'll talk about that in a moment. But this is the Luminous Silk Foundation from Giorgio Armani. You guys know I went through a love-hate relationship with this for probably about a year. I was hating on it for so long. And then somebody was using it in their videos. I can't remember who. Over a year ago, someone was using this in one of their videos and talked about like different ways to kind of apply it if you have oilier skin and, you know, setting it properly and using less. And I was just back in love with it, and I've been using it non-stop this month because I've been looking at loads of tutorials on like how L'Oreal, or you know, the makeup artist, Kylie Jenner's makeup artist basically, he uses this on all of their Kardashians and he swears by it. And then I just kind of like started to reach for it again this month and have been just loving it. And I found like a new way of actually applying it, which has been working wonders with my oily skin. It stopped the product from breaking down throughout the day and it just makes it last longer, and my skin looks really radiant, luminous, fresh, just all those good stuff that you want from your skin. And I feel like this time of the year is actually the best time of the year for my skin because the colder months make my skin less greasy and I can actually play around with more hydrating products on my skin, like which I did today, which was a Penny's makeup tutorial, which you'll probably see previous to this video. And I play around a little bit more with more hydrating products this time of the year because my skin is not as crazy oily as it would be in summer. And I just really like how fresh this looks on my skin. And what more can I say about it? It's just rediscovering my love for it this month. Another massive rediscovery for me this month was my Chanel. This is the Soleil Tan de Chanel. I mean, everybody and their mother has heard of this cream bronzer. I've had this actual cream bronzer for probably about 2 years. No, that's a lie. I've had it for about 1.5 years, definitely. You can see there is a little indentation to it, but hardly any of the product is actually used up. This is one of the most long-lasting bronzers ever. And I remember when I first started using this, it was like 54, 55 euro. And I was like, that is crazy expensive. I am never going to get my money's worth from it. And I just purchased it because like everyone was raving about it. And the first time I ever used it, I was like, don't use too much of it because it's so expensive and you don't want to use it up. And yeah, all those things, those thoughts that we get when we buy something really expensive and we feel like we're not going to get our money's worth out of it. But like I said, I've had this for like 18 months, maybe up to 2 years, and it's a cream product and it hasn't spoiled. It doesn't smell funny. It doesn't like, it hasn't stopped like performing well. I've been using it non-stop this month, and I've been using it with my favorite brush of the month, which is this one here. This is the F15 Duo Fiber from Sigma. These two are like a life combo for me. So I will use the Giorgio Armani, just like give a light dusting of foundation over my face, and then I will use this to like cream bronze everywhere, and I will just bronze my whole face up, and this just gives me the most luminous, gorgeous looking skin, and I highly recommend. It is expensive, but to be fair, it's worth every cent, and it's lasted me 2 years. And I would go through phases of using this like non-stop for like maybe like 6 weeks, and then like forgetting about it for maybe like a month or two, and then like picking it up again. So I'm dipping in and out of this product constantly, and I barely have made a dent in it. I totally feel like I'm cheating by mentioning this next product because I actually just used it for the first time today, but I still feel like it deserves a mention because I instantly fell in love with it the second I put this on my mouth, and I was like, yes, you are a winner chicken dinner. You gotta talk about it even though it's brand new and whatever. But this is super affordable. This is from Primark's PS makeup range, and it is a velvet whipped lip cream. So like I said, today was like the first day I actually used it, but the second I put this on my mouth, I was like, yes, we are in love. You have found a winner. It is amazing. Talk about it. Gotta talk about it. So this product is like a glossy lip balm, but it is very pigmented. Like, look at that. It's super pigmented, and they come in so many different shades. I just picked up the nude because I was just feeling it at the time. The packaging is really nice, and it has this kind of like rubbery lid that reminds me of the NARS's packaging, which some people hate because it gets really dirty, but it feels like looks to me a little bit more bougie than I'm used to from Penneys. Product is super comfortable on the lips, and I've had this particular, well, before I reapplied it, I had it on my lips for 2 hours and it's still looking really good on my lips. I highly recommend these. I'm going to pick up all of them because there was so many different shades, and I'm actually legit raging that I didn't pick up nearly every single shade that they had. €3, go for it, guys. You won't regret it. This next product is a bit of a weird one for me because I want to talk about tans with you guys. So I have 2 tanning products. The first one is this one here, which is the James Read Gradual Tan. This is a H2O tan mist. When I initially got this, like, it's a tiny size, but when I initially got this, I think I got it in like a gift box, one of those monthly subscription boxes or something, maybe like glossy box or something. When I tried this on my face, I was like, oh my god, like this doesn't do anything. But within a couple of hours, it started to develop on my skin and looked amazing. These waters or H2O tanning mists are actually, I find, a bit gimmicky. I don't really find like they actually show up that well on my skin. I find that I end up with blotches everywhere because I kind of like spray it and I'm not really sure where it's going, and I'm trying to blend it in and it's not blending properly, clearly, because then later on I come back and not even at all tan wise. This is just for the face, and I find that it works amazingly well. So what I usually do is I will like kind of put my hair back, I'll spray it on my face, and then I will just wipe my brows so that it doesn't stick around my brows, and just kind of like wipe around like my mouth so that I don't have like a mustache, and then just leave it to set, and then it gives this gorgeous glow to your skin. Like, it makes your skin look like it's radiant and glowy and like you've just been sun-kissed, but you're not like completely and utterly like dark tanned, you're just sun-kissed tanned. It's really nice, and most tans that I use on my face cling to loads of parts of my face, and it doesn't look good, and it kind of clings to your eyebrows and turns your eyebrows like an orangey shade, and it just does not look good. And I also find that sometimes it can like cling to like little bits of hair around here. Just putting tan on my face is just not a good idea, and I just avoid it at all costs. But I used almost half of this product this month, and I only use it maybe every 3 days, just to give me that kind of gradual tan. Obviously your face is like one of the areas that you will wash the most regularly, because I wash my skin twice a day on my face. And also I find that putting tan on my face clogs pores and things like that. Well, this product does not do that, so I highly rate that. And I don't know how much it is full price, full size, but I know that like I said, came in like one of those monthly subscriptions. But I'm actually going to repurchase the full size once that's gone, because I really enjoyed it. And the other tanning product I want to talk about is the tanning product that I have been getting the most comments on this month. I put up a vlog on Monday and everyone was like, what tan are you wearing? It looks amazing. I'm a Bondi Sands girl all the way, because it doesn't irritate my eczema, and anything that doesn't irritate my eczema, cling to dry patches and make my skin look ratchet, I'm all about that life. So Bondi Sands has been my go-to. However, when this Bronze Radiant Glow Self Tanning Mousse came out from Penny's there last April, and I was sent it in pure, I was kind of like, no, I'm all about Bondi Sands. I'm not going to use that. There's no point in even like taking it out and testing it out, even though it's affordable. No, I'm not going to do it. I then tried a tan called Catwalk Tan last year, and it irritated my skin so bad. It just solidified to me not to try any other tans. It just made me break out, and it just wore off awful on my skin. So it took me ages to like literally scrub every part of it off my skin. It looked scaly and ugh. In November, I was having a very sad moment and I was feeling very pale. So I decided I was going to put some tan on, and this tan was available to me because it was the only tan I have left. I ran out of Bondi Sands, so I tried it, and like fingers and toes crossed, everything crossed that this was going to work out well. And oh my sweet baby Jesus, this tan is life. I kid you not, guys, this is life. This is the best tan I have ever tried, ever. This is a 150ml bottle, and I get the extra dark one. So the extra dark comes in this white bottle. There's also the regular medium one that comes in a black bottle, but because my skin is sallow enough, I can go with the extra dark, and it just makes me look sun-kissed and radiant. And this is what I'm wearing now, and I've been wearing this all month, so I've fallen back in love with wearing tan, especially this tan. And like I said, it's €4 for a bottle. I've just been using it non-stop, and I got loads of compliments on my tan this month, and I just thought I'd let you know. When this wears off, it wears off nice. It doesn't wear off like scaly and go patchy and yuck on the skin. It wears off quite nice, so you're not left with like that weird scaliness you get around the neck and around your hands. I'm not great at applying tan, clearly, because I have a little bit right on the palm of my hand. I try my best to apply tan, but I don't wear it that often, that I'm not that skilled in it. But I do feel, because there is snow out right now, I ain't getting a tan anytime soon, and I mean, bottle all the way. Next thing I want to talk about is another eyeshadow palette. This is the Origin eyeshadow palette. I featured this in my year-end, like 2018, drugstore favorites, because I would classify this as an affordable product. It is €26 for this palette, and guys, there's 42 shades in here. Look at that. There is everything under the sun you could ever need in an eyeshadow palette. There's everything here. Well, maybe not like colourful, but definitely for a neutral eyeshadow palette. So I want to talk a little bit about this, why I'm including it in my January favourites. I had only received this in, I want to say like maybe September or October, and I hadn't really played around with it, but I started playing around with it all December and was just loving it, and I've been continuing to use it all of January, and I just felt like I didn't really get to explain to you why I love it so much in my year-end favourites, because it was like just from December. But you know, the second you dip your brush into an eyeshadow and you put it on your lid, and it just blends insanely well, and everything comes together really seamless, and there's no choppiness, and there's no like blotchiness in your eyeshadow, and it's easy to use, easy to blend, easy to work with. You just know instantly you found a ride or die. So that's how I felt about this. This is a holy grail eyeshadow palette for me almost at this stage, because I dip into it every day without fail, every single day. So it's kind of described as like a colours by number eyeshadow palette, and it has like numbers 1 to 7 here, and then base, transition, crease, liner, pop, highlight all on the side. This palette gives like a beginner, in my opinion, a little bit of an idea of exactly what you should be using the eyeshadows for, so I love that. So when it says base, that means you obviously can set your eyeshadow base going from light to dark, obviously skin tones, and then it has your transition, so going from light again to dark, your crease going from light to dark, and then your liner, which is kind of an array of different deep shades, and also gives, I think, like I said again, a beginner a different idea of how to use eyeshadows if you're just not really sure, that you can use like purple as a liner. Now the only issue I do have with this is the highlighter and the pop shades are just mediocre. Like they're not amazing, they're not what makes this palette the reason to buy it. They are quite basic. They do give like a nice tone, I guess, but they're not like in your face wow, to be honest. So that's them there. They're a little bit lackluster. The reason why you should buy this palette is these 4 rows here in particular. They are just amazing. Every single matte shade in this palette is incredible. Everyone that I've used. There are some obviously that I haven't used, like a couple of the browns that I haven't dipped into. I love this like yellow kind of mustard shade up here, and this other one beside it. I love the base shades. I love the highlight shade down here. You get a matte shade for obviously highlighting or setting your base, and then there is a bit more of shimmer and highlighting. Oh, there's just everything in it. If you're looking for a neutral eyeshadow palette and you don't really want to spend that much money on an eyeshadow palette, then I recommend this one, because like I said, it was only about 25 to 28 euro, and it comes with a massive mirror, just if you're interested in doing your makeup on the go. It has the biggest mirror of life. I want to talk about another foundation this month, and this is the INGLOT All Covered. I did a first impression on this and I've worn it a few times since. I feel like this foundation is absolutely gorgeous. I love the HD foundation from INGLOT, but I feel like this has kind of replaced it in my eyes. The HD foundation is really full coverage. If you're into that, great, by all means go for it. But I feel like as I'm getting a little bit older, I want something a little bit fresher on my skin, lightweight, and I don't really want something heavy and thick and cakey on my skin. I don't think anybody ever does. This foundation's even great if you do have a little bit of discoloration or spots or anything. It does cover it all up, but it just still allows you to have like that bit of your natural beauty coming through, like freckles and beauty spots and stuff like that. So I highly recommend this foundation. You don't need to apply layer upon layer upon layer to get good coverage from this, so you can have like a bit of sheer coverage or full coverage depending on what you like. It is really easy to build and it doesn't feel cakey on the skin. It does feel slightly heavy, I will say that, guys. It does feel a little bit heavy, but nothing kind of extreme. I am wearing the Penny's foundation today. Where is it gone to? This is the Glow foundation, and this feels like absolute air on my skin. It feels like nothing. It's so lightweight. This one feels a little bit heavier, but definitely not as heavy as the HD. I love the coverage of it. I love the way it looks on my skin, and I've gotten a few compliments from you guys in my videos, been asking like what foundation I've been wearing. So I've been kind of wearing that all month, other than the Armani. They're kind of my go-to this month. Almost. So the next product I want to talk about is this. This is from Cinema Secrets and it's Pro Cosmetics concealer palette, and this is really unusual for me to actually like something like this. I have been using this non-stop this month to carve out my eyebrows. Yeah, I am that girl now. I do my eyebrows first. Crazy, I know. So all month long I've been doing my eyebrows first and kind of like filling them in with these shades, going around the eyebrow and kind of concealing it. The shades in this are actually not my perfect match, but I got this sent to me like months ago, so it's not exactly like it's gonna match me anyway. I'm sure there are better matches available, but the consistency of it is amazing and it's really full coverage. So I, like I said, will fill in my eyebrows and then I'll kind of go around the shape of my eyebrows with this, but it doesn't like leave my eyebrows like looking really blocky or anything like that. It makes them look quite natural once you go around it. It blends out really well, really creamy, but like I said, this is definitely not my shades. Like this shade particularly here is kind of the one that I would go to the most. It's like the most kind of like yellowy wearable, these two as well, whereas these two are a little bit more to pink, and I feel like there's an awful lot of like green in this one for some reason. I don't know, but it's not my perfect match, but I'll definitely try and get my perfect match in this because I actually really like the consistency of the concealers or their foundations. It's just called a corrector palette, and again, like I said, it's not really something that I would normally dig into, but I've been loving it this month. My second last product I want to talk about is the Roller Lash from Benefit. Benefit were so kind this month. They sent me this lovely care package out with the roller liners, and there's a brown and a black one in it. I still haven't gotten time to play around with it, but I just ran out of my Essence Lash Princess mascara, so I ran out of it and I was like, right, I need a new mascara. And I got my little care package from Benefit, so I whipped this mascara out, and oh my god, guys, I have no words for how amazing this mascara is. Believe it or not, I've never used this mascara. I was all about LOreal. I loved LOreal, and I still love LOreal. I think that Benefit do a fantastic job when it comes to mascaras, especially when it came to this one. So I only have the Roller Lash Mascara on my lashes today. I don't generally do that. I would always put falsies on. But this mascara just makes my eyes just look amazing. It coats every single lash, and it makes every single lash separated and really long. From now on, this is what all other mascaras have to reach. These are the levels and the heights of perfection that all other mascaras need to get, because this is just insane. It's amazing. So I'm not one to get obsessed over mascaras, but if I was, this is the one I would be obsessing over, especially the way it makes my little stumpy lashes look so long, full and separated. Oh my god, I love this. And the final product I want to talk about this month is the Professional. Like I said, Benefit sent me out a beautiful care package with their roller products in it, but they also threw in a couple of brow products and my favourite Professional. So I want to say a huge thank you to Benefit for reintroducing me to the love of my life. I forgot how much I loved this, to be fair, especially because of my oily skin, and this just glides over my pores and just makes them obsolete. They never existed. There's like no pores there. My skin looks amazing with this primer. I've used so many primers over the years and nothing compares to the way this just airbrushes my skin. I really want to try that new Versali primer. You know, the primer drops that are supposed to make your skin look like it's filtered, because this actually does make your skin look filtered. It just glides over your pores. Everything else goes on top of it amazing. Your foundation just doesn't seep into anything because there's nothing to seep into, because this is just filled in all the pores. It blurs out everything on your face, and I just cannot believe how obsessed I am with this. And like I said, I've gone so long without using Professional that I forgot how amazing it was, and that's why I needed to mention it this month. Okay, so that is all for favourites. I want to talk about one fail this month, and I am so devo.com over this, because this is a product that I have included in my project pan, and I don't know what to do, because obviously this is my first project pan. If you guys don't know what a project pan is, I didn't either, but it's basically where you try and use up a certain amount of products within the year. So I picked 9 different products. This was one of them. This is the NARS Kuala Lumpur eyeshadow duo, and I thought this would be a really easy like duo to kind of use up or to include in my day-to-day makeup routine, and just to, you know, hit pan on the shadows. But the shadows are so poor, guys. So poor that it is just almost unusable. They're super dry, just no pigmentation of them whatsoever. They're really hard to actually get to show up on your skin, and I feel like I'm constantly like digging my brush into them. That is them there, like you can barely even see them. I feel like I need to dig my brush in so hard to get product to show up, so maybe I will actually end up hitting pan. Just don't like the formula of it. I think it is crap. I paid 30 odd euro for this palette, so it's, or duo, whatever, so it's not like it was a cheap product and it's just not working out and you're just like, oh whatever, throw it away, you know, fine. I actually wanted to use this up, and I've had it in my collection for like 18 months maybe. So it is a product that I just feel like I need to kind of start using, but I just find it really difficult to use it. Just, I don't understand it. It's so drying. Like you really need to dig your finger in just to get like any sort of payoff from it. So that is obviously me rubbing my finger about 1,000,000 times over it. And that is like one swatch of it. It's just terrible. And just swatch it there for you guys. You can see like it is a nice purpley shade once you kind of get the pigmentation of it, but you have to dig in your brush 1,000,000 bazillion times to do that. So I am going to keep working on it for Project Pan. But if you guys come across Kuala Lumpur duo from NARS and think, oh, maybe I'll try that out, I would try and avoid it, to be honest. I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do, but it's just not worth your coin. Seriously, it's not really. It's just too expensive for what it is. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's monthly hits and misses, and thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm so excited for like the content coming up in February. I love February. February is like one of my favorite months. Like October is my favorite month, but I love February because I just feel like spring is on its way. I love Valentine's Day, and I just feel like all the buds are out in the trees and the birds are nesting, and it's just lovely. It's just very happy. Happy. So I hope you guys enjoy February as much as I will. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.